get this going.
I love that it says toffees too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to take it down. I'm gonna like make it smaller.
Put us in
Well,
front of it. Just put
yeah,
us in front of it.
yeah. Here, I'm gonna.
Put us over their faces.
Yeah, yeah, right.
It doesn't
Just
work
little
that
cameras over the faces.
way. I'm just gonna throw this up. I'm gonna throw it up.
This is already going off the
And
rails.
put it over one of the sound ones. Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, dude. That's all. I want that poster, Tim. All right.
That would be sick.
I'll upload it.
All right, guys. So, audios are good. All right.
My God.
All right. So, let's see here. I have my last monologue here, or write up for this campaign.
The last one.
From the depths of the ruined dwarven stronghold, the Noctua faced the ultimate challenge. Getting the moon rocks, defeating these creatures, and getting your ship. Not knowing what exactly was ahead, except for the pure fact that you needed to end it. Challenges, another check, another chapter. Their journey led them through the astral sea, into the moon Ruidus, into the heart of darkness itself, where they encountered a three-creen rogue army and a cosmic horror named Elda Mosk. From the insectoid moonrock infestations plaguing your world to the cosmic machinations of being beyond mortal comprehension, the Noctua's quest was one of peril and determination. Along the way, they unraveled some cryptic puzzles, navigated some treacherous mazes, and faced the formidable lair of Elda Mosk, all while braving the intimidating presence of this ancient deity. As they stood face to face with him in his gaunt human form, Alton falling through the sky, they were met with a chilling and echoed voice, foretelling their doom and the inevitability of cosmic entropy. But despite the overwhelming odds, the Noctua remained undaunted, their resolve unbroken as they prepared to confront the embodiment of darkness itself. And so, blades were drawn, hearts were stopped, but the Noctua clashed in the battle that shook the very foundations of reality. Through sheer determination and unwavering courage, they emerged victorious, vanquishing this cosmic horror and sealing away the darkness that threatened to consume all. As you guys made your way back to your ship and took off, you had a couple moments. You felt relieved. I think more of your questions were answered amongst the battle and seeing how this cosmic horror lesser deity was like a consumer, and all of that. The ship sails off. What do you guys want to do? How do you want to do this? Like is there a page you would like to write for a send off for your character and or the group?
Can we start with a shopping session?
Yes.
I feel like the
just
first
prepared
question.
so we can get back to Zadash really quickly and
I have an
Shut
appointment.
Oh yeah, Connell.
Well, I think.
No. Yeah, sorry, Tim. I'm not.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. I think the first question as a group is, are we still a group after this? Or do we go our separate ways?
Just awkward silence.
I believe the Altons will probably stay with the ship. Live out our remaining few years and just have the adventure of a lifetime. We've got very short time to kick off everything on our bucket list.
I don't know if Nemo at this point would continue to captain the ship. For sure, like with his daughter back, I don't know if he would do that.
Oh, she'd be welcome on the ship.
Well, I'm sure she would.
It'd be a wonderful childhood.
Yeah, that worked out so well last time he did it. No, I think Nemo might seriously consider like retirement.
All right. Where would you retire to, Nemo? Seeing how you spoke up first, we'll do your send off.
Sure. Well, depending on, I think he would say his goodbyes to everyone after we get back.
Yeah.
You know, make sure everyone gets home safely.
To Port
Gets
Damali.
back into Exandria. I think he would eventually find his way to Port Damali. Either Port Damali or Nicodranus, one of the two. Ocean lining. Probably Port Damali, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he would settle down somehow with a tavern or shipping business, something legitimate.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I do want to say. Connell, you grabbed a bunch of Rudis Moonrock because you know the value on the black market for this shit. So
Yeah.
I just gotta imagine when you're running back to the ship, you're opening every bag and fucking throwing junks in there.
I got my mage hand out, just tossing it as well.
So I'm money, gold, platinum is not an issue for you guys.
Oh, I don't imagine.
If you guys ever need a loan, I do favorable
Oh,
terms.
fuck you! I give you this, and you take it.
I think Nemo would open a tavern.
Okay.
I think he would tell everyone that they have a home there. If they needed refuge, if they needed anything. I think he would try to raise his daughter away from danger. But also beat the shit out of anyone who wronged her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would just turn into almost like a wayward home for weary adventurers, you know?
Gotcha. Roll me a d20, please.
Sure. I have one somewhere, but let's just do this. I already have a character sheet up. D20. That's 14.
14? Okay. Well, yeah, you live. You.
Oh. 1 second. There's one pit stop that he would make.
Okay.
With that airship. And it is to find his old first mate. Fucking blow him out of the water. And then go retire.
Okay, gotcha. I believe, God, you found where.
I had someone for him.
Yes. It is.
His name was James.
Yep. He was. Where's my? He was in the Gravid Archipelago. Just outside Broken Bank, and just southeast of or northeast of Darktow, the pirate haven.
Nice. Yeah, no, I would fucking blow his ship out of the water with our advanced airship, and then just not even go through it, not even check to see if he's really dead. Just blow the ship up and then turn around and go
It's-
settle at Port Jamali.
It's all the Alton simulacrums on the guns.
Handling all the guns.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, who's next? Roll me a d4. Someone roll me a d. I'm rolling a d4 here. I'm rolling a d4, and I'm going to tell you who's next. 3. That would be Marlo.
Oh, great. Awesome. This music is...
Yeah, it is Skippy.
Glitching.
Yeah, it's glitching. Oh, man. That's right. I turned it down.
Okay. So,
Let's see.
Marlo, we're at the an adventure for Marlo, where she has spent a lot of her time, almost all of her life, helping others and putting others before herself, and putting the goals of others and the needs of others before herself. So she feels a little empty at the end of this, surprisingly. But she also finds comfort in the emptiness. I don't know how to explain it. Like a melancholy. She takes that as a sign that she needs some time to herself. And she finds herself traveling back to the places that we've visited throughout the adventure. All the places affected by the disease and the growth. And she's like strengthening her mark along these lands and healing each spot in every place that we had gone, and making sure that the marks, the scars, they're still there. They each have their story to tell, and they're present and visible. But the land and the life around it is restored to acceptable levels.
Yeah.
So that's really what she's gonna focus on coming out of this.
So, one thing that I do want to say with that you're revisiting, like when you stop and drop Nemo off, you venture off to the Bullywog encampment that you guys fought. I think that kind of sat on Marlo's, conscience from day one, and you find very overgrown but recent growth. And as you dive down into this like cave that has like a little creek, like a little water running through it, you find, I think it's 7 like small pieces of ruidus throughout the cave. And well, now it looks like a less infected version because the curse is gone from it. I see a little doggy. I can't help myself. I'm such a child. I just wanted to throw that out there. That was your first clue that you guys totally didn't go to for the plot of the main arc. I had it like session 3, right? But then someone decided to shoot the bullywugs and have frog
Listen,
legs.
Okay, they were threatening.
That was a defining moment in the Noctua's that come together moment.
That set the
Where-
tone early.
Once
It did.
like we all, as soon as that one innocent bully
It was not
murdered,
innocent.
we all, like the whole group, was like a well-oiled machine, murdered all of them before stopping to see what the real issue was. And as it turns out, that's what happens when you shoot first.
Yeah, well, or stab first, like
Yeah.
Yeah, like
New
how
fathers.
that's a thing. No, the other thing, Marlo, is your trip back to Oth, where you communed with nature and you really
Yep.
blossomed there. It is like Dubai for trees, from like the late '90s to now. Like everything around it has more growth. It's almost like like they're getting more wildlife, different wildlife, and you have a small, I'd say like Marlow Woods, is what they call it. It's like a small forest that is shot up from the last time. That was, oh, geez, in game, like fucking Othmore was like a year and a half ago. I think we covered almost 2.5 years in game.
And then to pay the bills, I'll frequent up the winery and help them out with their land and their plot.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, just to pay the bills. Pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I donate most of my salary to the kids.
So if you guys are splitting up, like a year later, you just get your checks, like your commission checks, right? And they just keep getting higher and higher, and soon after that, it is like the Bud Light of wine. It is fucking everywhere, and your faces are plastered. You can't go to a medium-sized town without going into the bar and seeing like 3 versions of your Noctua wine up on
Oh my
every shelf.
all I can think of is the like, hey, aren't you the guy who saved the world from the moon? No, you're that fucking wine guy. Like that's what we're known for.
Oh, I mean that's very very smart plan, and you know, it's a very nice place to hunker down and help out. Just north of, that was Phelan. That's like fucking prime weather, man. It is just gorgeous there. So, all right. Now we're down to 3. I got my D3 out. 3. Jeff Alton. What's Alton?
Well, I imagine, Alton's gonna want to stay with this ship. I think that this is literally like retirement. This is like the late life crisis.
Giving Grandpa
And-
keys to the caddy.
Yeah, it's just like he'd rename the ship to like something with like a stupid pun, something that's like a little weird or a little gross for like an old guy to like have on the back of his boat. And yeah, I guess it's sort of a let's see where the solar winds take us. Hi, Lenny. I think that's it. Like,
All right.
there was a thought where I was like, return to the, but I was like, no. there's
He's
nothing-
like Christopher Lloyd of Back to the Future.
yeah.
Just
we just gotta accept the new
yeah.
and move on.
All right.
Me and my Altons, and I will try to save up and multiply the Altons so that we do have enough to man the whole ship. I imagine besides the Alton acapella choir that we start amongst ourselves, I'd like to see some skill specialization and diversity. Maybe some of them taking different interests as they focus on their things around the ship. Like there's one Alton who works in the galley.
Dude,
he really tries to cook.
we are gonna do like a one-on-one, one-shot with this sometime, like one of those nights where just us and go to some fucking city in the astral sea with your group of fucking Altons.
But the Alton,
We all. Oh my God! Let's do a one shot where we're all Altons.
no.
Oops, all
The thing
Altons.
is, you can start
Well,
with
below
a
the-
spell, but you can't get anything back.
Yeah, no, we're all the simulacros. Once we cast spells,
Oh
we're done.
my god.
The all Altons.
I would
Oops, all
argue
Altons.
that my spellbook's massive, so right before you simulacrum the prime, I would learn whatever spell set you want, so that you could start the day with it, but you'd still just, stuck with Dunamancy stuff, that kind of thing. All right. Well,
I love
anyways, that sounds like a lot of fun, and I don't know. That's really all I kind of thought it out. I like the whole just sailing off
Into the sunset.
into the sun.
Into the sun. Jesus. Okay. I'm going to roll a d6. Connell is odds. Tushar is evens. It is a 1. So Connell.
Sick. So, heading back from Brutus, obviously, Kana would help anyone that wanted it, whether it's Nemo taking out his first mate or whatever. But in the end, he would definitely go back to the sanatorium. I think part of that would be he would want to start setting up his own underground with Skamos' help.
All right. Yeah. Skamos will follow you.
Yeah.
So.
Kind of making his own network and kind of den of thieves, I guess, if you would.
Fucking A. Dude. A den of thieves in the sanatorium is such a fucking chilling, God, okay.
If no one else is going back there, that's what I'm using it for. So.
It's like a series. It's like a whole fucking what was there, like 5 or 6 fucking buildings, and none of them were small.
No, and the one was
imagine
deep.
Like the Foot Clan hideout from the OG TMNT movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's just like,
yeah,
fucking cool place to be. Get a little rowdy. There's no rules.
There's one rule: have fun.
Oh, yeah. You're the cool counselor. Who
Until
also
I'm not.
assassinate people.
Yeah.
All right, so I need you to roll me a d20 for that. Just for that, then we'll get to the rest, and then I'll tell you what the result is.
That is a 15.
Okay. So yeah, you fucking set this fucking Continental Spy thieves guild up.
Leave the Continental at John Wick.
Okay. What else would you? Is there anything else?
Yeah. So, obviously doing that, beholding black market auction stuff like that. But I think the main thing I'd want to do when I'm back there, start looking for clues where my father was, because when we were in there, I saw stuff about that. So I think in between setting that stuff up, he would probably be looking for his family.
Okay. So this is one of the one shots that I've thought about. You find clues to your father. And he is twisted in shadows on another plane.
Okay.
Surrounded by an image that looks very close to how you remember Cole or Quinn. Along with that tiefling that you guys fought during the was that in Zadash where you did the monster battle and
It was
he
in Diastock, I thought.
Yeah,
Diastock.
Diastock.
Where he blew it
Yeah.
up and he's like, yeah, I'm fucking killing you guys because you killed my brother.
Yeah.
And that is one part. Those two are motivated to get what they want. So I was thinking the whole Noctua as a one shot for that down the road because that would be a good high level one shot. But that's you find him,
Yeah.
but you need to assemble. Like
Yeah.
you would know that.
Avengers assemble.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. The only other thing I'll add is I'd like to think he would try and keep in contact with who he could, whether it's letters, messages, stuff like that. Actually, I do know message now, so just that.
Okay. Yeah. Easy. I mean, Alton's the spotty one.
Yeah.
Because I don't think message
I
is
was
plainer.
just thinking about that. I'm like, can I get some sort of planar message? Would I need a planar message? Like, what's the
It's
limit
just
on
like
sending?
every time he flies over Exandria,
sending
like in the space,
Any
you can
plane.
like a RC, like a one of those CB radios. Alton like chimes in when he's close to the material plane.
This
Yeah,
Alton's
I'm like
out of your
90%
service
sure
area.
sending is like as far away across planes.
Excellent, excellent. So I can still check in, and I imagine Connell, do you have sending yet?
If not, will have it.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
And also you could just go to someone that would know me.
Yeah.
Even just
Oh,
any.
I do have
any
one question.
random,
Yes.
You know, or
what happened to Bryn?
Oh yeah, Bryn.
Our
He has
little
my hat.
Cobalt Soul
fucker.
buddy.
He what?
Our little Cobalt Soul buddy.
Oh,
He has
oh,
Nemo's hat.
Yeah.
he was just on
Okay.
the ship, probably, right?
I think, I mean, he didn't have the smart. I won't say intelligent because he was like one of those eager, intelligent, guys. He took over the Diastock Cobalt Soul, which they did build in Diastock. He was the first one there, but your rumors, the information that you find from it, it's mainly because the people that were in line to take over a division like that didn't want to deal with Tyrion Darrington. So they sent Bryn to take it over and deal with the Darrington Brigade, and Tyrion likes to bring up the history and how he was a part of it, of Exandria, before you. So it is a challenging job, but he does that. Is that it?
And so I think, like,
Yeah.
worst case scenario, if you guys needed to, Bren could send me a message.
Chances are I could just learn it anyway with all the books in there.
Yeah. You had everything. So Tushar.
Cool. I like being last now. Where was the sanitarium thing again?
Sanitarium was That was north Dunrock Mountains, like the south point of the Dunrock Mountains, where
Okay.
they kind of formed together, like north of the Pearl Bow Wilderness. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I was just looking at a map. I wanted to put all the pieces together. So when we get back, Tushar will go with Aaron and Connell back there, and I didn't even know you were gonna say that, Mike, but
Everyone's
Tushar
welcome. It's still home.
Tushar wanted to leave Aaron there, um, for the library to help out, do whatever. So because Tushar is gonna go back home,
There's your sending.
Yeah.
and
Perfect.
all the spells you need for your things. And so because Tushar wants to go figure out how to be what he is, and I figure once he gets a grasp of that and then learns how to change into his bipedal form, he'll however long that takes. I don't know how long that's gonna take, but he would go back to Diastock and open like a bodyguard training dojo, and then just maybe claim a spot in the Sirios Mountains or something.
All right, I like that. Man, you guys spread the fuck out. Yeah.
We probably should plan to have some kind of scheduled reunions, like every 3 years.
Yeah.
Nemo's staying put. Everyone can come to him.
Yeah. You all gather at Port Damali every 3 years on the final sun, and
We drink until we're shit faced.
We make Marlo just go get him and teleport him to us.
it takes
Marlo's constantly pushing him through, tripping him through teleportations
Portals.
and trees. Yeah.
I love it. No, Nemo's like going outside to get like the wine, and he just walks through a tree on accident. And like, what the fuck am I?
Surprise!
Get tripped by a random squirrel.
Tushar, I'd say it takes about 6 months for you to really grasp the shape change. It's awkward, and you go back to Draconia.
Yep.
And roll me a d20, please.
Oh, really? I rolled a 1.
Oof. Okay. Man, I hate putting my words in your head, but I want to say, like, when you get back there, you probably find out, or maybe that's when you have that shift where you go open the dojo in Diastock, is that you yearn to live up to the lore that has come before you and be a part of that heritage and your transformation. That all came too. But as you come back from Draconia, you quickly find that you just feel more intertwined in the regular civilization compared to the very nomadic, unlawful, of Draconia.
I sort of would agree. I would agree with that, because being very charismatic and being a full silver dragon, he actually finds people and being around people more interesting.
Mm-hmm. And you open a dojo. All right, I'm cool with that, man. That's fucking awesome. And you run into Bryn all the time.
All the freaking time.
All
that
the
kid.
time. Also, the Darrington Brigade. They're always trying to get like free training out of you for like, for what's that? What they used to do with bands for. They're like, yeah, you play for free, but you get exposure. So like, you got exposure for your dojo. You know.
I genuinely love that. Like, I love that. The
I just think that's so.
They're like, if we trade, it'll be good exposure for you.
Yeah, right. Doesn't that sound like some Tarrington?
It's fitting.
But ultimately, you strike a deal, and eventually, when guards go from like ground guard to like a military point, you do like a lot of the initial training for them to see if they have what it takes, you know, especially in that region of the Dwendalian Empire. Cool. I like it.
It's cool.
It's cool. And yeah, Sirius Mountains. You go up there. Probably Aaron told you about how there was a dragon he thinks is that wiped out all of the Arakakra on Wild Mount, which they resided in Volate.
Right, which is this.
Volantim? Yeah.
Yep.
Which that's another one of the high level one shots I have if and when we do it. So
Awesome.
all right. Anything else, Noctua, before we say our goodbyes for now? No? All right. That's a wrap. Okay. Let's go ahead and break now.
Sadness.
And we'll come back and you guys can ask me anything on a Craycast. And I will do my best to answer. Just bear with me because there's a lot of shit that I have. So it might take a second for me to get you answers.
Real quick, I just want to wrap a little bow on this. This was one of the, I want to say, second or third like true campaigns that Andy started doing. Like once we started picking up the Wayward Ones team, and when we were planning it, I was spending a lot of time in my nursery, where my child was not born yet, but I would be sitting in this little rocking chair on my phone, building, like theory crafting Alton and sending messages to Tim and Andy and, you know, just doing all that. And now my daughter is 4, she's going on 5 in May. And it's just like that. This is the first campaign I've ever played.
Yeah.
Beginning to end. This is the first campaign I've ever had an ending.
Ended.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Same.
it's surreal. So I just want to thank everyone. And
Fantastic. Yes.
I feel like
Thank you for inviting me to this.
We've got
I
this
agree.
momentum. So like now we're gonna start my second campaign that I'm gonna complete to the end.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome. Oh, thank you guys. I'll shut up now.
No,
Thanks for letting the most illiterate of all of us run this campaign and struggling through it every step of the way.
Hey man, you're the most consistent one we got.
Killed it.
Too.
The most consistently literate.
Yeah.
All right.
Literacy is very consistent.
I'm gonna make the Noctua image full screen again.
Hell yeah.
And I'm gonna put us. I'm gonna put us to break.
You can also use that as a desktop screensaver if you like and subscribe.
Oh yeah.
Get the word screensaver one more time.
All right, we'll be back in like 10 minutes or so. here. All right, so we're back for the second half of Woo! It's like, what are you in a magma? Magma.
Magma.
Magma. It's so bright. Holy shit! There's his face. All right, so the second half tonight is Q&A. I sent maps and handouts in the Wayward Ones chat for Diaries subdivision subgroup / handouts. I sent 2 there. The world map that includes the continents of Oquan, Excelia, Ortolan, and what am I missing? Great guess. Oh, and there's one more. There's one more. Here. There's Diaries. Maps and handouts. Volush. And then I sent a very basic map of Krakas. And we will begin on the southern shores of the Azure Expanse, in the 3rd largest coastal city in Prosper's Reach, known as Aquanor. Aquanor is infamous for its mile-long short shores, meaning it's only about 3 to 6 feet deep in most places, a mile out from the coast into the Azure Expanse, which is the name of the sea to the south. Because of this, Aquanor is half built on land and half built on a dock system. A lot of buildings are of wrecked ships and other just refuge, or whatever you may call it. How do you want me to do this? How do you guys want to do this? Do you have any questions about the lands, the lores, anything like that?
Let me start with, what are we calling this campaign?
Okay. So I think I like
I'll be right.
I think I like the Veiled Chronicles. And then I forget what the second half of that was. Something of a
Lavender Company.
Lavender Company. Something of the Shattered Talisman. Let me find that. What?
Someone somewhere in some city is just gonna call us like the Purple Crew or something like that.
So that's not it. Where did I put? I think I put it in.
Purple Potsy.
Here. I'm gonna get my phone out. I dropped it a while ago in our new campaign. Let me flick back. Let's see here. Echoes of the Shattered Talisman. The Veiled Chronicles, Echoes of the Shattered Talisman.
It's not bad.
I like it.
I am a fan.
That's what it is. Okay. So question 1. You guys better have some fucking questions for me.
Wait,
I
what
got
was
questions.
that again? Echoes of the.
The Shattered Talisman. We'll get to that in a second. I think I want to leave tonight off with the Shattered Talisman. So,
Perfect.
You good?
What is the relationship with the Veiled Agency as far as the public? Like, is this a secret shadow organization that no one knows about?
yeah. So my thought meta of this is like the infant stages of the CIA or the FBI, but like 10, 20 years in. So the Veiled Agency headquarters in Aquanor, which you guys will, you know, be a part of, has 25 total members outside of you guys. Or 24 total members, because I think my member list included Figrin, because it did. So it's very secret. I have a whole brochure. I should drop like my whole sales pitch on new recruits to you guys. That's kind of cool.
Sorry, I had to step away and my baby had her first giggle.
Giggles. That's awesome. It's such a good feeling.
Aha!
I get this text. I'm like, no, make him laugh again.
That thing you do.
Did a carrier run up to us and said, "Hey, I've got something for you. Your eyes only."
For
Skyrim
you,
reference.
oh. But yeah, they're they're like a clandestine operation, and they do not fall under Lord Fortunebane's rule. This is something that you get the sense where like they didn't want this to happen, and this group started anyways, but it's more, well, I don't know, how do I say this, it's a lot of information. It's a lot of being careful, and it's not just Prosperous Reach, which is the kingdom, which I say loosely because there's no king. It's ruled by a lord, a human lord, who has been in rule for an abnormally long time for a human. And I think that's relatively general. Maybe he's blessed or touched. Some people cry, but it is at least, to your knowledge, continent wide, starting at the low levels. Could be more, could be meh. It is what you make of it. Anything else, Jeff? I know Jeff has like a list. He's probably got a list.
I'm still catching up.
That's
on
fine.
At some point, what I will say is, if you have anything that's already electronic regarding the location, background, cities, things that I would know about that you're okay with sharing, send them my way, because I will pepper them into my notes, and then as I know I'm getting into a place, I'll pre-study so I can sound like I know an area or I've heard of a blah. You know.
Okay, I can do that. I can do that for you. I like that. All right. Anybody else, or Jeff anymore?
So we're all. I have questions. I guess not necessarily lore wise yet, but we're all vaguely aware of each other.
Yeah. I mean, if you're on the same team, you're very well aware. But yeah, name wise, or face wise, you guys have bumped into each other in one way or another. You are going to begin being tasked as a group, though.
All right. And Jeff, your character's name is Otto right now. Otto. And Otto and I know each other a little bit better than
Yeah.
everyone else. Than I know everyone else, at least. And
Mhm.
Figrin knows everyone else. All right. Okay. I feel like I had a million questions before we started this, and now I'm just like blanking.
I mean, I just have general questions about
Do-
like
shoot.
the politics of the continent. Like, just,
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you briefly touched into the king, like a king,
All
a
right.
human king that was covering like way too long in prosperous. Did you say?
So, if you look at handouts in the Wayward Ones
Yep,
chat,
I'm looking at the map.
Okay, so Prosper's Reach is one of. So Krakatha is considered the land of the Five Nations. All right, you have the Diaries dynasty, which takes up the northern, almost half. It is a cruel and like iron fist rule by the black and red dragonborns. In Prosper's Reach, you will not see many chromatic dragonborns. Because of this, Darius Dynasty is heavy chromatic dragonborns. Prosper's Reach is ruled by Lord Fortunebane. It's a council. The cities are ruled by more councils. It is a Mediterranean atmosphere, and it is very trade opportunistic. The Azure Expanse, the sea to the south, is also known as the Corsair's Haven, for the many lots of pirates that sail the seas looking to take down trade shipments. So you would all know. I mean, that's another job that you could run, is security for that. The Shikai Empire is my homebrew Japanese elf. Very Japanese-esque. It's also almost the shape of Japan. And we have a player in here that knows a lot of lore for that, Jeffrey.
I was just gonna say that's where my Kensei was from.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I have a whole thing with his twin brother, who I also have a whole character build for you, which is heavily optimized. It will play.
Yeah, actually, I think when we begin, he's the king now. In there, or the emperor.
That's fucking cool.
Because we are starting like 30 or 30 years after our last Ortolan campaign.
Yeah.
I was gonna go before, but I'm gonna go after for this.
I'd like that we're back in Ordon.
Yeah.
That
Right.
makes me happy.
The Stone Rot Dwarves are one of the nations. So if you look at the map from the west coast to the Stone Rot Mountains, there is a mile wide, mile deep canyon that splits the Diaries dynasty from the southern half of the continent. And it
I
comes.
thought that was a wall.
No, it's a canyon. And it comes like it stops at the mountains. The Stone Rot Dwarves are like the protectors of the realm. They are the prototypical disgruntled dwarves. There's only one way in and out from the south and the north, and that's through their mountains. It is a hard pass, and a dangerous one. And then south of the canyon to the west, you have the Widow's Song Val. And the Widow's Song Val began from like the stories that you hear as a ship that crashed into Kraketh from Oquan. And Oquan is my animalistic nation. So the Widow's Song Val is ruled by the Lion King. And it is very wild, we'll say. The wars are endlessly named, but the Darius dynasty constantly is putting pressure on the merchant-esque trader, laid back kind of nation of Prosperous Reach. The Shikai Empire is probably the least that you hear about because they keep to themselves. They rule their nation and don't really put their noses in other people's business. However, the Widow's Song Val and the creatures that call that home are feared because you don't see them. It's like entering one's habitat and knowing immediately that they have 5 times the upper hand. Not that they're hostile. They can be, but they are also protective. And they have this little sliver. And then I think the only thing I'm missing is Stratham, which is technically the 6th nation, but people don't talk about it. It is evil and cursed, and if you bring it up in a tavern, you'll hear the ha, everybody will grab their breath, because it's unknown, but the stories are scary, and actually, that brings me up to nothing. As I say, scary. Some of you, I brought up the Nightmare King in your session zeros. Dude, I just started listening more to campaign 2, and there's a Nightmare King in there of Critical Role, so I'm not gonna do that, and we're gonna take that as the Dream Stalker. It's gonna be his new name.
I didn't make that connection when you said it, but now that you say it,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, I didn't either, and
I thought it was Dimension 20.
yeah, no,
Critical Role.
Nightmare
No.
King is
No, they do that. The Nightmare King's the dude in that basement, right?
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I wrote this like
I mean, campaign 3, right?
yeah, campaign 3. Yeah, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah, it's
my
campaign
bad.
3.
I'm bleeding numbers.
It is
No, it's okay. It's like, yeah.
coincidentally in season 2 of Dimension 20 as well.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There's.
Yeah.
I was like, huh.
No, you're right. I know that too. You're right.
I thought about. I'm like, ah, man, I don't want to do that. Like, it's so cool, but I'm like, all right, we're gonna go with the Dream
It's very generic trope, very generic name. So
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, Dream Stalker. That was the guy who had me shitting my pants. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. So, how's that, Terry? You want anything more? You want me to dive into anything more?
No, that was a lot, and I feel like I got a good amount of notes there, and it's mostly around everything. Because the last time I believe I played in this setting, we were mostly in Ortolan.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really get this side of things.
Oh, actually, in all of the campaigns that we played in Ortolan, we only really touched the Diaries dynasty and a few of them, and we didn't get too far into it.
Yeah, and this is a pretty exotic continent, especially as far as Borderlands
But yeah,
player experience goes.
and
Um,
it's like 12 times the size of Ortolan's. Like Australia, this is Russia and Europe.
One thing I wanted to ask of the players is if you wouldn't mind either sharing like a D&D Beyond link or just sending me a note of what you want me to be aware of. I'm setting all your characters up and I flesh out details as I learn more about them, but especially really obvious things like name, race, class, subclass, and if you don't feel comfortable with that, just describe your play style or what I would know about you from that perspective.
Link dropped.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, I'll drop a link. Also, do we
Yeah.
have a D&D Beyond set up for this campaign yet? Okay.
Yeah, Are you muted, Andy?
Probably keep it in Diaries or whatever Chance has shared, because there's campaign Chance shared. I think Chance has more books than what I
Okay.
have.
I think it's probably pretty even, but yeah, more than welcome to use that one too. I can reshare it as well.
Yeah, you can share. If you could share that campaign link, that'd be good. Then we could put all our characters in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think your campaign's the one where I usually make characters. So there might be a bunch of rando ones from other games.
All good.
But I'll drop the link.
Wait, so
for you,
I have a
Jeff.
question for Chance actually,
Yeah, what's up?
because Chance is also a wizard,
I
but you're not with the research group.
No, I'm with the stealthy group, the influence.
Would I be, being a wizard, would I be any kind of aware of Chance?
No,
Okay, good.
no.
The less I know, the better, because then I don't have to remember things. So,
Yeah, no. Specifically for Chance.
And-
no.
Figrin is very sheltered. So beyond Otto, he may not really know anybody or anybody's names. He'll know them once he learns them, but
Andy, how recognizable is my last name?
Brass.
Like, would everyone know?
Yeah, everybody. Yes, all of these people would know, because I do want it to have It's not
it's not like-
militaristic where you have to remember and you train like basic training or anything. However, yeah, with your lineage, I mean,
Yeah. So y'all would know that my dad was a big deal.
Can I opt out of this knowledge? I mean, I don't mind hearing it, but
No.
I feel like
you see a picture on the wall on the main hallway every time through that you walk through the main hallway of a gnome that may resemble Otto.
I think because of Vigrin's past and where he's from, and his studies are so specific. Like Vigrin doesn't study everything, because if it doesn't matter to Vigrin, then he doesn't need to know it.
Yeah. I mean, you could totally not put two and two together.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but I think if like the name was dropped and he was told who he was, he'd be like, who?
Yeah.
Is he a great chronomancer? No, I don't know. That's just character specific. I think he wouldn't know that.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't know exactly. I didn't, we didn't really build out a class build for my for Pops, but I imagine he'd be heavily artificer, but
Yeah.
maybe some magey stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
Doesn't
maybe
matter really. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
2-2. All right. Hey, Ter, you're going reconnaissance with your character for the part of the team.
I believe so, right? Like,
Yeah,
I was,
that's-
like info gathering.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah, well, I think it plays well with like a bard too. And tieflings. This is something. Tieflings in Prosper's Reach are higher than humans. Lord Fortunebane has an asphyxiation for tieflings. Like his protectors are a group of tieflings that guard him. He has them all over. It's not it's not sexism or anything like that. It's just he fucking likes him,
It's his kink.
It's his kink, man.
He likes him.
He likes him.
Love it.
So that's something. The councils, so every town has council. The members on each council vary per population. So, like, a village or a small town might have 3. A city can have, like, Aquanor, I think, has 7. But you get into, like, Seabridge and Melidoria. Melidoria was like the capital city of Prosper's Reach. It's the largest city and it's the fanciest. Just everything about it is over the top. I think in Lord Fortunebane's there, but I think they have 13 council members in Melidoria.
Oh, lucky.
Chance, you got anything?
I think I'm all set. I mean, everyone else has asked pretty much the questions I had.
All right. Flash?
I got one for you, Andy.
Yeah, what's up?
If there is absolutely one thing we need to know about this campaign or continent, what would it be?
Let's see here. That's a very, very good question.
That Figrin will try to figure out a way to take out each of you if he has to.
Hold on.
He's figuring.
Figrin.
He's figuring it out.
He's figuring it out.
There it is.
God damn it, you're making me change his name. Also, Small thing that I feel like maybe Jeff and Terry and Mike might appreciate. Figrin's name. Do you know where his name comes from? His name is Figrin Denare. And the lead singer, the band, the Cantina band in Star Wars, it's Figrin Dan and the Modal Notes.
Ooh.
So that's
I
where I
love
got
it.
Figrin Denare.
So you're a jizz whaler.
I'm a jizz whaler.
Big jizz
Play the
whaler.
jizz.
Big time jizz.
Whoa! I like it. All right. So one thing you should know about this campaign. This campaign, I plan on testing your ability as a team.
Oh shit.
The land varies a lot different than, say, Wildmount, due to the location to where like the equator is. You can quickly get lost and end up in the beginning of a desert or be stuck in a swamp. You know, it has all of those spectrums. But as far as the campaign, I'm gonna say here. I'll say this is what I should say. I'm gonna need probably 6 sessions before you guys start to grab it. In the beginning, it might seem a little eccentric, but I'm trying to do better. You know, I don't know. Does that help?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like when
definitely.
you start watching a new TV show and you got
Ye-
one main character and you
Right.
start meeting the other characters, and then halfway through the first season you finally get the group together, and then they start doing stuff.
Yeah, and
And then you realize I didn't mean to watch the Golden Girls.
Says you. I definitely meant to watch the Golden
Oh,
Girls.
Blanche.
okay.
I
right.
definitely.
You
Here,
didn't mean to, but now you're enjoying it.
I have some things for you guys.
I did have one question, Andy. real
Yes.
quick.
Yes.
How prevalent is and you might have already answered it. How prevalent is religion in this content?
So, different parts hold it higher. In the cities, you can find most religions, but across the center section, like Crashaven, like east, there is a bit of a Bible Belt to this, where maybe not Crashaven's a bad point because that's crossroads. It's a major trade intersection. So while it's not a city or anything, it would have some more temples than like a normal town. But you'll get into towns which are very one-sided. As far as like the one thing Prospera's Reach does do well is protect from ill-fated stories. You know, and you guys will be level 3, so enough if you dig into it, or other ways. But like, they don't bring up the thought of defeating the big bad god, or any books like that. It's kind of stricken, almost like you don't talk about it, you don't remember it, kind of stuff. Is that good?
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
Okay. All right. So we are going to have a couple different rules for this campaign. First one is going to be flanking. Flanking is going to scale with your level, and I'm going to say probably go like 3 to 7, 7 to 10, 10 to 13, 14 up. And it's going to be +3, +4, +5, and +6 to your dice roll. I think this will alleviate getting 2 bad advantage dice rolls and at the same time help balance out some of the encounters and make it a little bit more thematical instead of completely mechanical, which is really what I want to push with the, I want to push it with all groups, but I think you guys will learn how to embellish in this the right way. That's my big one. You know that I hate death saving throws. I've been trying to think of a way to create more tense situations where a group would have to function as a team. And this is open for a conversation. I want to have, and the best way I could think about doing this without fucking, like Noah brought up, like, you could do like a long rest a week, which I don't think that's necessary a lot of times, is having, when you're getting to a point where you know you're getting towards something, I want to emphasize that. I don't want to change necessarily the rules, but I want to come up with a way that in our brains, because we just got out of a 4-year campaign, we're not like, oh, he's got 3 death saves. It's easy for me to attack and then heal, because as long as he doesn't roll a natural 1 on that, that second one, I'm good. So, I was thinking in moments where you know you are in danger, it's a 1 in save, or something that. So here, let me tell you what I want. I want a lot more methodical thinking from a group of creatives that I know is completely possible of doing that. And I don't want it so hard where you can have an incidental TPK when when it's not warranted. But like a danger zone kind of thing where when you drop.
What if you just took 1 away?
So I was playing with, when you drop, you roll a dice. If you roll over a point, whatever that point may be, because I want it varying, because one of my problems with fucking death saves is level, it's too much. Especially once you get over like 7, 8, it's real easy to manipulate that. And I want to encourage a more creative combat solution, and a more suspenseful, view. I was thinking 1, and if you save, you're back to 1 hit point. But if you fail, you're down to 1 round before you're at that point where you need like a revivify or other divination magic. That's kind of where my heart leads to. Not all the time. I don't want to take short rest and long rests away. It will nerf spellcasters and marshals equally. And I but let's say you have to investigate a ruined temple. As soon as you cross those boundaries, you guys are in that danger zone. You're out of your familiar travel. I should relabel
Hey,
it.
Andy,
Yeah.
what about there's a thought. This is just a thought. What about okay, I don't know how to word this. Death saves. I guess my thought is you do 2 different saves. Your 3 death saves are to stay conscious. And when you fail a death save, then it's just when you're unconscious, then it's just 1 roll.
I could get behind
So
that, but
that's a role play opportunity for people to go, okay, he's still up, he's still up, he's still up. Oh shit, he's down.
yeah. So here's the thing then. If we're going to do that, which I like, no death saves will be said on screen.
And well, honestly, my thought is you roll them.
Oh boy, that's a lot of.
I like the no one's on screen.
Oh yeah, we should have been doing that the whole time. And I don't know. I could go if we're doing a one shot, or some. I like it because you can fucking roll off and play and make some comedy bits and keep it interesting. And I don't want to take the comedy away from the group because you guys we all do it well. However, I want this to feel more real.
No, I agree.
And so I like that. One and done.
So we roll to stay conscious,
You-
and then when we're out, we have 1 roll.
Yeah.
So 10 below, we go unconscious, and then you have 1 death save throw.
I like that. I can get behind that. That's a little more lenient than what I suggested, which is why I wanted to bring this up to the group.
Well, so it's still potentially we're still doing our 3 death saves, but then if we go if we fail one, then it's 2 death saves.
But if you roll a natural 1 on the first roll, you're done.
Yeah.
And that
then we have to get creative.
And that has impact, right?
Yeah.
And well, I'll be
playing the wizard that scares me.
Yeah, well, I'll be more.
I like it.
I'm gonna. Yeah. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Your comfortability makes me feel uncomfortable.
I think a stricter one's good because, I mean, as a Twilight cleric, they can be pretty.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Getting people up.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about class, especially for you. That's part of that's why you go that. I'm not.
And again,
I'm not.
I like if we look at it this way.
I'm not bringing it up to try to nerf that.
But I'm saying it helps it, honestly. I don't want to say it balances it more, but
here's what I want.
It adds a sense of.
I want. Actually, here, let me rephrase this. I want you guys to be afraid to go down.
Yeah.
All right? Because I think we can create more dynamic moments in those instances. And I think that it will, all right, instead of fucking just hammering down on this monster because we know we got 2 more rolls from this guy, it'll maybe trigger some clever combats or more, and
I'm in agreement.
So, but as long as we're in agreement, natural 1 and done.
Yeah. Rough, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's tough, but fuck it.
Yeah, whatever. That's
I'm
part of the
for-
game. It makes it more challenging.
Hey, if you want to go find a church, or if you have that ability,
We might
then
be
it,
able- no, it just might be more effort to get them back before we can do that.
And plus, it gives us more to think about when we're engaging in combat too.
exactly
Yeah.
the planning will
And
be
again,
a little
I like
bit
the
tighter.
role play element. If we know until we fail, we're conscious, we'll be able to do a little bit of role play stuff on our turn.
Yeah, like
And then when we're down, we know we're down.
yeah, you'll be like Fortnite. You know, you get
Yeah.
shot and you're crawling around. I'll actually even say once you go to 0 hit points, you have like 10 feet of movement that you can roll around on.
Make it 5.
Make it 5?
Make it 5. You
5.
can move like,
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
right?
like, you're crawling slow.
It's basically floundering around.
But
Yeah.
I think that that
That
would
could be a cool balance to save you from a fireball.
Yep. Yeah. You know, get behind a wall. You like, you know, you drop to 0. You succeed. You're crawling. Yeah, I like that. Here, I'll be right back.
No, it's cool. All right. Oh. I feel like I need to change one of my spells, but it also fits. So I'm not gonna.
So I'm just gonna go out and meta a little here.
Meta the hell out of it. He's gone.
I built this character to allow a certain degree of meta.
Yeah.
So I intentionally, you know, he allowed me to take basically, I'm going to be an int-based sorcerer with an int-based warlock, but I am losing plenty of benefits that I don't intend to use anyways. But despite that, I am going down a path that will put me into an optimized build at some point, probably somewhere between 6 to 8.
Heard.
And I have no doubt that just playing with you all, we're gonna have builds that are optimized, even if they're optimized for something specific. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and name classes, but some of us have some incredibly powerful subs. I'm talking two of the biggest, like, these are the best of the best, you know.
And we're talking Twilight and Eloquence, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're so they're so good.
Well, they are.
And I want them to be, but like I also think I'm not stuck in an Alton flavor path. Like I'm stuck in a different flavor path, but it's going to allow me to flex my creativity a bit more. And I think that's where I think we're going to see optimized team strategy come out of the mix that may have not been present in Diaries.
So here's another question for you guys. And
Okay.
I know this can change, and if it changes, I want you guys to let me know off screen. But do you feel yourselves wanting a place of your own?
No.
I'd say
That's my
no as
instinct.
well.
That's my instinct. I don't want to feel like we have to take care of a place or be somewhere.
Yeah, you mean like having like the sanatorium from the last one?
Yeah, I don't want to give
Especially
you.
since we have the veiled agency like
Yeah.
locations,
Headquarter,
like
little area thing.
Yeah, and I will say the Veld Agency at this stage, well, it's still blossoming. All cities have them, and 2 towns have them.
Yeah.
I
think I like the idea of the wandering adventurer a little bit more
All
personally.
I think so too. I mean, even for
excuse me,
for my character, their drive is a quest. Like their drive is a knowledge base, find some things out, and I feel like it's going to be easier for me to play that nomad hobo style.
Yeah.
And also in previous campaigns I've been a huge fan of having a headquarters. You know what I mean? I just don't think it fits with this one. And like you said, we essentially have safe houses we can go to
Yeah.
if there's a populace, you know.
And I don't want to be comfortable ever while we're traveling. Like personally, like my character is not going to be comfortable traveling. And I feel like that's important to him to be stuck traveling. Like he's used to his soft bed, he's used to his books, he's used to his quantum chamber, he's used to his like, his gems and all his doodads. I
I
don't want
think
he's not going to be comfortable traveling. He's not gonna like it. It's gonna
my
be
character
different from his routine. It's gonna be different from his comfort zone. He's gonna hate it.
and my character's
And
whole
if you
thing is
guys
kind
find a
of
headquarters, he'll want
he
to
has a
stay.
home.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and my character's thing is she is traveling. She doesn't want to be at home because there is a home. She doesn't want to be there.
Yeah,
See, and
no
all I
need for
want to be at
anyone.
home.
Sounds like we're all on a
Actually,
pretty good
no,
same page
that's
then.
fair. My home, I don't want to be home either. So
Okay, here's another one for you guys. Exploration versus plot.
Oh,
I
Because you
It's
know,
different DM
I'm
style.
I'm the side
I want you to
Yes.
do what you're comfortable with.
I'm the side quest king, right? But
You are. You are.
I don't want if I want it to be as tailored as I can for
I
what you
guess
guys are
my
building.
my answer is if it's plot, I don't want to know.
Right.
Because I'm very much like that. My DM style is very much like wherever you go, I'm probably gonna throw the plot at you.
Yeah, and
You know what I mean?
I
Like
never did
I'm gonna
that.
I'm gonna adjust whatever I'm gonna adjust whatever my plans are to make the plot follow you
yeah, I was gonna say.
or to bring you into it.
I think my take on it is more exploration. However, as long as it makes sense,
Right.
like
Yeah.
relative to the story, like it might not be in the plot point that we want, but like throwing in extra information for us to learn or whatnot because we want this way. Like as long as it
100%. Everything needs to. I like
right,
things tying in together. You know what I mean? To be like, oh, this came up later. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like we made
Yeah,
that, or even if this whole side quest turns into we made allies. You know what I mean? Like then we made allies, but it ties in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I
just
don't
no
want a
loose
side
ends
quest for the
really.
sake of a side. I don't want a side quest for the sake of a side quest.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right.
We'll definitely make you take us on side quests because we're fucking rabbits and we'll go down those bunny paths. But
All right.
We like them. They're fun.
And very easily convinced
Yeah,
to go down a side quest.
we fucked off for like 10 episodes just at a fucking
Oh,
winery.
and I'll be honest,
I know, that's what I'm
Figurin's
saying.
not gonna be
No,
the guy.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I knew quickly with Diaries that I could just hey, here's this bit of information, and you guys were like, wait a second, can we get something valuable? Can we earn money?
I blame Mike.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, in full disclosure, if we're given a quest, a mission from our agency, it's going to take a lot of convincing to get Figrin to go on a side quest.
Right.
Because again, he is so routine based and laser focused on what he thinks he's supposed to do. I'm not saying he won't be easily convinced. He's not the most insightful person, but
All right.
there will be convincing that needs to be happening.
Okay, so.
But I'm sure if you convince Otto can convince Figrin. So
I
think that is going to be our key.
Yeah.
In that Otto and Fig share a lot of personality traits to the point where they're going to jive together and not necessarily understand other people's reactions all the time.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
I also think that one of us can be the mouthpiece to convince the other.
Yeah. No, agreed.
And I mean, we each can. You know, it's
Yeah.
going to be scenario to scenario. But I guess my point is that like we can play interpreter to the rest of the team.
Yeah.
The needs.
Figuring's very, very neurodivergent, I guess, to the extreme of on the spectrum. Like, doesn't like change, doesn't like not doing what he thinks is right.
All right.
Not necessarily good or bad, but just like what he thinks is the correct action.
So, what else do we want to define before we start this campaign?
Could we maybe lay out who actually knows who?
So that's
Not necessarily like personally, but
Yeah.
like
So I'm gonna say that you guys are all aware of each other, but like privates in a battalion of military, you know, where you have 5 different companies. Okay, so like unless you're in the same division or your backstory states otherwise, you everybody will know, but you won't have any personal connections outside of that. And I think I like the way that it's formed now. You know, where we have Figrin and Otto, which are in the same division, so they know each other, right? So that's a little bit of a tie. We have Killian and Celeste, which know each other backstory wise, but are in separate divisions. All of you will get introduced to Chance. Chance, what's your character's name? Cyrus, that's right. You should fucking write that down. And then Marlowe's character is I want to do her backstory in session 0 before I just, you know, force Terry's hand on it.
Oh.
You know, because I think what I've done with the group, what actually I shouldn't say what I've done. You guys have fucking laid out killer backstories for me to help intertwine into this beginning. Yeah. And fuck Cyrus, right? Is that what you said?
yeah.
Cyrus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking write it down because that's gonna be the name, and that's size an easy name for me to remember.
Jeff, I have a question for you. If we work in the,
Ready.
if Otto and Figrin work in the same department, what do you do?
This is good. I actually, this is really good. I'm glad you brought this up, Tim. Otto.
So, I specifically work with instrumentations. It is my specialty is obviously in clockwork, but mechanical devices of all sorts of designs. And I have a particular kind of experience with my father's style of clockwork. So my main function there, at least as when you are used to working with me, is probably working on fixing or building instrumentation.
Figrin completely thinks you're just a maintenance guy.
Okay,
uh,
I like that.
figuring, though, on your map,
Yep.
you can see his instruments.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So more than that. So you're probably actually one of the only people who matter. If your work affects my work, you're probably one of the only people he thinks matters.
You would know that I'm very into time, obviously, as like in a different way than you.
I have to say that's something I'm struggling with Figrin's build. And with the backstory that I've built, I haven't really played into his chronomancy. And I look at him with the way I build him in his backstory. I'm like, man, he should be an evocation wizard. But I'm sticking with a time wizard because I like it.
Please do. For
I'm
now.
not changing anything. But just when I look at his like the backstory stuff, what I did for like all the gems and things, I'm like, man, you should be evocation. But I'm digging the time stuff.
Anything else, guys?
Okay, I'm all set.
I think I'm good.
So, do you want me to put you in the scene where we will start off tonight, or do you want to wait?
Wouldn't mind knowing. But also,
I think
I
I
don't know.
prefer to wait.
All
but
right.
If everyone else wants
No, let's just wait. Let's wait.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
wait.
good either way.
Prefer to wait.
All right. Terrence, you need to get me a backstory so I can put some lore to your backstory, and then we can run a session.
We have that at least. I have something from you that you gave me already.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to stick with that or not.
Yes. I was reading it and I was liking everything that came out of it. So.
Okay, so I'll dive back into that and flesh out the details and get you something and get you to here. Jeff, I want like a half an hour with you just to clarify some of the stuff because we ran late, and after 11:30 my brain is done. So
Yeah, I can be pretty flexible.
yeah,
Obviously,
it's
after 9:30 gets very free.
right. And then the mics will do something. I actually think we should plan for like 2 hours for it because I have a bunch of questions and I want to flesh out a bunch of stuff between you guys and then do a little role play.
Just let me know.
All right. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, the Veiled Chronicles,
Crazy.
man. Campaign 2. Get ready. What's 2 weeks? 2 weeks from now is the 19th, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll see you back here on the 19th. Fellas, I can't wait. I'm excited.
Love you all.
Okay, I got goosebumps. Woohoo!
This one will be ready.